that we're struggling, and I'm a guy that wants the ball in those times. Give it to me.
I don't want to make this about that.
The consistency is the matter.
I understand. We're doing everything we can do to fix it.
Yeah, the Eagles got to make a change on offense. This offense stinks right now. This offense doesn't do anything well.
Throws it to the sideline. Open is Robinson. Down the right sideline. Cuts inside at the 5. In for the touchdown.
We can't keep putting pressure on defense. At some point, we have to carry our own weight.
Wow, some drama coming out of Philly early in the season. We'll get back to that. Welcome to NFL Live on a Wednesday. Look at this. Patrick Mahomes is talking today. Cam Ward, he's going to have a new coach at some point. Drake May, Brian Schottenheimer, Liam Cohen, Nick Sirianni. There's so many names I can't even say them all. But let's start with this guy, Nick Sirianni. He was asked about his team facing adversity today.
You know, adversity makes you dig down even deeper. Now this is a hungry football team and a hungry coaching staff, and I know I'm hungry, and we're looking for that even in wins as well. That's why I say the process has to remain the same. But there are sometimes that adversities make you reach down deeper, and to me it's like you can have two mindsets there. You can have a mindset of defeat, or you can have a mindset of get up and fix and identify issues and identify strengths and get better from it.
Oh, we're so glad you're here. We got Field. We got Hawk. He's back from his international tour. More on that later on.
Hawk.
So glad you're back. Sir Hawk.
Happy to be back.
Great to be in your presence. Dan Orlovsky, Dan Graziano, two Dans, better than one. All right, Field, what has you concerned most about the Eagles' offense?
Oh, man,
Only
let's see if
Dan.
we can get back on track here. Greg, great segment. Sunday morning fantasy football now. It's a great segment. Only Dan's
The only dance, yeah.
Great segment. Watch it every
I just assume
Sunday.
everyone already knew.
You've been on that. You've been on it.
No,
You have.
You have.
did.
You just
did
may
a
not
guest
realize
spot.
it. Anyways, let's talk about the Eagles' offense.
Dan.
I've heard Dano talk about the Eagles' passing offense. I won't step on their toes there because he's done a lot of insight, or he has a lot of insight on it already. I'm sure he'll dive into it more. A little bit concerning, though, how pedestrian the running game has been for this Philadelphia Eagles offense. You know, passing game can be a little bit more creative in concepts. Sometimes in the running game, it's just do what you do and just do it really well and better than the defense can actually defend it. The offensive line does not look nearly the same this year for Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley hasn't had the same level of production, which I think is more about the offensive line than Saquon. I don't think he's fallen off some cliff. Check out some of these numbers to kind of support how pedestrian the running game has been. Saquon is averaging just 2 yards per rush before contact. He was over 4 yards in that same category a season ago. He has yet to rush for 20 yards on a single play this season. If you go back to last year, he had 11 separate games with a 20-plus yard run. He had 11 games with 100 yards. Hasn't gotten that to any of their first 6 games. Last year, when things maybe weren't going great with A.J. Brown in the passing game, you could at least say, hand the ball off to 26, let him make some magic. Opening drive of the NFC Championship game, the Commanders control the clock. They go down, they get points on the board. Next play, Philadelphia's first offensive play, 60-yard rush from Saquon for a touchdown. That easy out, the smash button just isn't there this year right now in the running game.
Yeah, 47 negative plays for this offense this year. That leads the NFL by a significant margin. They got to run it better. I think two things I'd like to see in their run game. Number one would be, unsurprisingly for me, I'd like to see Jalen Hurts a little bit under center. I'm not saying you have to completely revamp the offense. Yeah. Two, I think a lot of their run game has been a little bit too side to side for me. I'd like to just get Saquon going downhill. I think that would help their offensive line.
Agreed. Minnesota
defensively, the one thing that I've been surprised about them this year is run game defensively, they have not been good. They're bottom 8 in basically everything defensively. And I think the thing that's most surprising is Brian Flores, their defensive coordinator, has always been really good at putting numbers to the line of scrimmage. He's not doing it as much this year. Or some of those run game stunts or pressures that are called on first down that are really good for either run and or play action pass schemes, they haven't been called as much this year. So if there's a game that you would actually feel good if you're feeling like, let's get our run game going, it's this one, coming off of an extended break and against a defense that's not handling the run good.
I thought that would be the Giants game last weekend because the Giants were allowing 140 rush yards per game prior to last Thursday night, and then it was yet
I just would like to see this run game go at defenses a little bit more than this way too much.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think this offense isn't playing with the amount of trust it needs to be at its best, and that's top down. That's from play caller to quarterback to receivers. There's plays out there that they're leaving because the quarterback isn't anticipating and the receivers aren't finishing. You're going to see a couple of these plays here. This is a 23-yard gain to Dallas guard the tight end, but look how late that Jalen Hurts sees it.
Over the middle, right?
Right, over the middle. There's two options. It's there now. Throw it. That's when you make this throw. Look how long it takes. Goddard's throwing hands up in the middle. Jalen knows this. He feels this. He has to trust what he's feeling and not waiting to confirm it for so long with his eyes. Next, you're going to get this big play down the middle. This is 2 weeks ago to A.J. Brown. This is a big play that they have to have, and Jalen is locked in on A.J. A.J. clears coverage, and he slows down once he gets past the DB. And where does this ball end up dropping? 3 yards, 4 yards ahead of A.J. Brown. He has to trust that his quarterback is going to see him down the field. And then lastly, this is two seams down the middle of the field, single high coverage. You know, with that single high safety running to the right, now, you throw this ball now. You have to feel this. You have to know this. This doesn't take you seeing it with your eyes. This is a wide open touchdown to Smith, which these are points that they're leaving on the board. And when you talk about how you feel about this offense, this changes that narrative. This changes the feel in the locker room and in the huddle if they're executing on these plays.
I think reality, too, is that's something that Jalen has struggled with for
career,
years.
right? Yeah.
Just
See, that's
over the middle of the field has never been kind of his comfort level passing the ball.
And I think that's what we're getting to here, right? Like, we've seen enough of Jalen Hurts over the years for all the great things about him that I don't think the foundation of the Eagles offense is going to be a reliably consistent passing game with him at the quarterback position. Like, we've seen him be great,
sure,
but I think if that's what you are in terms of your DNA, I just don't think you're going to get consistency week to week, which gets back to the run game. And I do think they have to find ways to be more creative in the run game, because last year they had a week 5 bye and they had a big meeting, and it was like, the offensive linemen, look, we're clearing these holes. Let's let Saquon run through. Great. But they're not doing it now. Yeah. And they're not, like, whether it's because Mekhi Becton was much larger than the guy who's playing right guard this year, right? Yeah. Like, whatever it is, they're not getting those plays. So something else has to be done in the run game. Kevin Patullo, promoted from the staff, I think, with maybe kind of like a do no harm sort of mandate. I think, but he's also a guy that's been around some different systems, has his own ideas. I think it's time we saw some of them.
We throw around the term the pass game is predicated on the run game a lot, but I think there's different versions of it. Like there's pass games similar to San Francisco or a Seattle right now that's predicated on the run game because of the play action element. I think Jalen and the Eagles pass game, to Graz's point, is predicated on running the football because it's building the one-on-ones on the perimeter. That's where he's by far most comfortable. That's also the way they're built, having the two guys on the outside that win one-on-ones. That's kind of how they're connected offensively.
And you can avoid the middle of the field if that's a weakness.
It's not been a necessity for him as a passing, quarterback or in their offense.
It's a good point. They got to make some changes. The Eagles rank 30th in total offense this season. They rank top 10 in each of the previous 3 seasons in a lot of these categories. Let's get to some top stories. Let's start with the Eagles' opponent, the Vikings. Quarterback J.J. McCarthy. Graz, what more can you tell us about his status?
Still working his way back from that ankle injury. He's been out at practice this week. They want to see what he can do. That's basically what their head coach Kevin O'Connell has said. Get him out on the practice field, see what he's capable of doing, check in with him every day, how he's feeling, and what he feels he can take on the next day. If he's cleared, then he'll play. Remember, the backup Carson Wentz is dealing with a shoulder injury, non-throwing shoulder, but that's limiting him as well. Washington Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin, they're optimistic that they could get him back this week. He has been out with a quadriceps injury, but he's back at practice today, and Washington is hopeful that he will play.